All right, guys, so the type of guys that will always go broke, in my opinion, you want to avoid being any one of these type of guys. I narrowed it down to three categories. I'm pretty sure I could make the list longer, but on average, this is typically what I see across the board. All right, so the first type of guy that you do not want to be is the idea guy. This guy has so many ideas, talks about opening up a business, talks about starting a YouTube channel, talks about making this investment, that investment, but every time you check back up with that person, they made no effort to start that idea. And yeah, I think a lot of people have a few of these individuals in their group of friends, or maybe you're the idea person. Maybe you're the person that's always coming up with an idea and never executes. And there's two reasons why I believe people become the idea person. One is because they don't believe that what they're thinking about or what they have an idea about can come true. And a lot of the times it's your friends group that, you know, the people around you are not doing much, so you really don't think things could become possible. So my recommendation for that is building an online community, right? I think there's a lot of people online that can give you the motivation and inspiration that you need to say, okay, well, this person did it, they're pretty normal, I could do it too. And I think that's very important to see that somebody else did it and get away from the people around you in person that, you know, are really not doing anything, because that's gonna have an influence on your ability to execute that idea, right? Now, the second thing is the kind of the lapse in time from which you think about the idea and you actually make the first step. You need to decrease that lapse in time, right? Some of you think about something in January and don't start it until December, right? And then by the time you start it, you lack motivation, you really don't want to do it anymore. So yeah, I think that lapse in time is really big. A lot of you don't have a sense of urgency where you say, okay, well, I thought about this on Monday, let me on Tuesday or Wednesday put something in action, right? Let me do something that's gonna get me closer to making this idea reality. So yeah, I think that's another piece of it too. A lot of you have too many ideas as well. I think that's a big problem. You want to open up an online business, you want to do a brick and mortar, you want to do a YouTube channel, you want to do this. If you also narrow down the amount of ideas that you have, you'll be more likely to execute on them, because right now you're thinking about too much. So you need to really narrow that list down and not have too many ideas. Focus on one and get one thing done, right? And then also too, not telling people about your ideas. I think that's a big one too. A lot of you, before you even make the first step, oh, you're telling this person, telling that person. I found that the least amount of people that know what you're trying to do helps out your idea come to fruition, because now you don't have that pressure. People are always asking you and things like that. So that's another big thing too, not telling everybody and just keeping it on the low until you actually get something done. So yeah, that's the first type of guy that you do not want to be. You don't want to be the idea guy. You want to be the person that actually executes. All right, the second type of guy that you do not want to be is the guy that gives everything up for a girlfriend. I see it all the time. These guys, they get a new girlfriend, they stop all their ambitions. They were gonna open up a business, they were gonna start a channel, they were gonna do some type of investment, and they gave that all up because they got a new girlfriend, right? They said, okay, I got my 9 to 5, I'm making good money, so my business ideas, my financial ideas are just gonna go to the wayside. And I think that's a sure way to stay broke forever. And that's not the only thing the guys give up, right? You stop going to the gym, you stop getting haircuts, you just give everything up. A lot of you are like that. And the funny thing is, that same girl that you get with, you break up with that person in a year or two, and now you want to get back to that business idea, right? And then you get another girlfriend, then you fall into the same trap. So do not be that guy that gives everything up as soon as they get a new girlfriend. Keep that ambition, keep that motivation. If you were a person working on your business for 3 days out of the week consistently, keep that going when you get a new girlfriend. A lot of you just end up sitting on the couch watching TV shows and give everything up. And you wonder why. You say, what happened, right? After, like I said, most of you do break up with that person, and you wonder why, what happened later. Like, oh, now I don't have anything to show for it, and you got to start all over again. So definitely don't be that guy that breaks up, that gets with a girlfriend and just gives up their financial dreams, their financial goals. It's very important to be consistent no matter what your situation is. And I see a lot of people do that, especially in my group of friends in the past. And I'm pretty sure you may be that person, or you may have seen it before. But be consistent. Do not give everything up for anybody. Keep your financial dreams and ideas in order, right? Okay, so that's the second guy that you do not want to be. The third type of guy that you do not want to be is the grown child guy. This guy's in his early 20s, mid 20s, early 30s, and still financially dependent on parents, family members to pay their bills, their insurances, their phone bill, things like that. And again, for me, you want to become as financially independent as possible, as soon as possible, right? And that just means taking on your own financial responsibility. I know some people, they're still having their parents pay half the rent, still paying their phone bill and things like that. And it's just going to be, it just damages you, right? Because when that person leaves, or that person is not here anymore, you're not going to know what to do. So you need to figure out how to be financially independent without depending on other people. And you see it. You have these people well into their 20s, well into their 30s, still living at their parents' house, not contributing, just taking, right? You don't want to be a person that takes. After a certain time period, you want to be a person that's contributing to your parents, a person that's contributing to society, and don't be a burden. All you guys should have something that you're working on, that besides your 9 to 5, and be able to pay for your own expenses. You don't want to be that grown child on the couch playing video games and your finances are not in order. Okay, a lot of you are working 9 to 5s, paycheck to paycheck. Again, just not contributing. So the last type of guy don't want to be is the grown child, and we see a lot of those in our society where they're just not contributing, and they're fine, right? They're healthy. There's not like anything's wrong with these people. It's just that a lot of the times it's your parents, right? I see it a lot with parents. They like to coddle you, and just because they want to coddle you doesn't mean you need to let it happen. A lot of you want to let that happen. Oh, I'll pay for it. Don't worry. You could go to college and not have a job. You just focus on school. Even if they tell you that, I would say still get that part-time job. Still give yourself financial responsibility, because it's just going to help you in the long run, and you're not going to feel like you need somebody. A lot of you feel like you need somebody to help you with all your expenses and things like that. So even if they're telling you, oh, it's okay, do it for yourself and become financially independent. But yeah, so those are the 3 type of guys that you should not be. One is the idea guy, all the ideas in the world, no execution. 2, the guy that just gets a new girlfriend and gives everything up, all their hopes and dreams. It goes out the window and the cycle continues. And then 3, the grown child guy, the guy that's well into his 20s, well into his 30s, and still dependent on parents and family members to come through. So yeah, those are the type of guys I believe will always be broke. So if you are one of those type of guys, make sure you try to fix that immediately and become financially independent, right? All right, so that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.